Welcome, folks, to another Group A matchup following Murder Mastodon versus Jersey Driver. We now have Murder Mastodon versus Invoker of Legend. My former co-host is going to be taking on Murder Mastodon. Again, we've mentioned it before in previous cast. Invoker is a rookie, but has shown a lot of improvement here. Had some close games against myself. We'll have to see if he's able to pull out some stops here against Murder and pick up a win or two, maybe even pull off the upset. Murder, a veteran player, still in the winner's bracket right now in the tag tournament, one of the only two teams that's undefeated in the bracket stage. Have to see how this shakes out. We start on Palace. Our bands are Panorama and Refinery. And let's get this underway. All right, we see fairly conservative starts out of both. Murder already headed on the offensive, it looks like. Throwing out the Flame Sword, does connect onto Invoker. Looks like Murder's going to retreat after that one. See a Venom Fang. Might have been a Root of Tree, actually, out of Invoker there. Murder picks up a few more capsules, moves back in with the Flame Sword. Looks like he's going to try and bait out a shield. Invoker doesn't fall for it and erases the Flame Sword. Clean play out of Invoker, paying off. Psycho Spear almost connects onto Murder Mastodon. Not quite, though. The damage would have been massive. Murder dodging the gravity press as well. With this many one-time uses, I'm forced to assume Invoker is going to be using a Memory of Battle. And I'm going to close off Facebook for a moment there, so we don't get any more of those message tones. I've mentioned this in a few other games, but we have so many of the group chats open, sometimes I just get message after message in the middle of a match. Ice Sword. Looks like it was erased by the Fortress. Ice Sword returned by Mastodon in the face of a Memory Battle shot at too short of range. And the Lightning Blade is able to steal a shield out of Invoker. I'll have to see what shield that took. Picks up another one. Hopefully he still has the Fortress in order to be able to block the Ice Sword out of Mastodon. Is not intimidated. Vacuum Wall catches it instead. Mastodon now retreating. Invoker still with the Memory of Battle there. Not sure it's doing quite enough damage. Throws out another Psycho Spear. Thunderstorm. And there it is. Breaks at least the Glacial Wall. Might be getting close to being able to break that Fortress, but not quite yet having the opportunity. Dodges a Lightning Blade. Down to 8 capsules. Probably able to break a Fortress at this point. Mastodon playing the long game here. Looking to wear him down with the Lightning Blade. Probably going to have a Storm Blade later. Maybe a Lightning Sword as well. Vacuum Slash does connect. Invoker says, "Welcome to my health level." Murder throws out the Rock Shot. Oh, the Lightning Blade does connect. Not sure what shield he lost there. Vacuum Wall would be nice to be able to catch that Rock Shot. Looks like Murder's manual aiming those Rock Shots, trying to catch what he has. Entangle now out of Invoker. Oh, another Rock Shot tags Invoker. Got to be looking to hit that Vacuum Wall or peg him with a big Memory of Battle. Another. There's the Fortress down, so Murder now does not have the freedom to move around as much as he was. Invoker down to his last 2 capsules. If that memory gets erased, that's it for him. Looks like the Vacuum Wall does catch the Lightning Blade this time. Interested to see how much damage that Memory of Battle will do if he hits it. Could one-shot Murder Mastodon at this point in the game if it's high enough damage. Murder looks like a shatter there. Not going to be able to finish him off, but does take whatever that last capsule was. And the Ice Sword does connect. Dodges the rock shot. He's on edge here. Putting up a good fight. Needs to watch out. Ice Sword's incoming. Does get caught. Needs to dodge at least one or two more in order to be able to get his vacuum wall back up. Doesn't make it, and Murder closes it out. But Invoker putting up a good showing, catching him with the vacuum slash earlier, and a couple of other skills being real close to hitting. Palace goes to Mastodon. And now we'll be going to Highway. I have to see what our players bring here. We did see a deck. I'm trying to remember exactly what Murder had before. Invoker played. I've done too many matches today. I'm trying to remember who played what on their last match on Highway. Do believe we saw Optic out of both players here, which is pretty common on Highway. See a purple start out of Mastodon. Mastodon moving in, throws a blaster, doesn't connect. That one does. That one right there singeing the tail hairs. Invoker still no shield in the firing lane. Murder does retreat back to his own base. Gives Invoker at least a little time to try and find an answer to that blaster. Some lasers coming out of Invoker. Does get a chip damage onto Mastodon. There we go. Evens up the health 4-4. Dodges the blaster out of Murder. Does not dodge the Ice Sword, and the Photon Wave does not go off entirely. Takes another 4 damage blaster and falls through in a rough spot right now, down to 7 health. Needs to find an answer and quick. Needs a shield. Murder looking to connect with a manual aim blaster. Invoker finally has a shield now. A ray shell catches the blaster. And does connect this time with a Photon Wave, but gets hit still by the Ice Sword. Not a bad trade, but doesn't get away from the next Ice Sword from Murder. Needs to keep his distance. Murder on the chase. Looks like he's gotten the distance he needs. Going to let him go. Blaster coming out of Invoker. Doesn't quite reach Mastodon on the second shot. Some more slide lasers. Going to see if he can get a little more chip damage before Mastodon returns. Tiger Strength now, but Turbulence going to take that immediately. Had to dig pretty far before he found his Tiger Strength. I do recall him using Tiger Strength lasers against Jersey Driver. It was the Tiger Strength slide laser that eventually did Jersey in. And now unable to break the glacial wall, Murder gets a free trip in while Invoker is frozen, trying to create distance, wanting to stay away from that Ice Sword. Gonna look to catch the melee attacks from Murder again with the Photon Wave. Now that Murder jumps down to head him off, he just turns right around and goes the other way. Glacial Wall doesn't quite connect. This time it does. Invoker frozen again. Needs to stop firing the slide laser right at the easily blocked Glacial Wall. Causes him a lot of inactivity. Overriding now, possibly looking for a second Tiger Strength in that arsenal. Have to see what answer he has here. Murder down to 10 health now. Invoker low. Next attack likely to finish him off, but within striking distance yet. Glacial Wall blocks the triple laser as well. Invoker still hurting for a Tiger Strength. If he doesn't have a second one in there, he needs to fix that arsenal up and put one in. Almost always worth it to double up on Tiger Strength, in my opinion. He does find one finally. Deep into his arsenal. Excuse me. Tiger Strength triple lasers is a massive damage skill if it connects. Trying to catch the slide laser there, not able to get the right angle. Manuals it down the staircase. Still on the run from Murder, who has 2 shields. Manual aim does connect onto Invoker. Second photon wave, not close enough. Murder looking to finish him off with the slide laser. And the flame sword thrown out. Slide laser again, really close. This is tight. Invoker in a bad spot. Tries to manual a laser of his own, and Murder finishes him off with another slide laser manual. And that will be us headed to City. We'll have to see if Murder closes this out with a 3-0 or if Invoker can pick up an upset win. Murder still trying to decide on what arsenal he wants to use here. Invoker ready with his arsenal already chosen. Coming in with a battle plan, shows confidence. And here we are, let's get going. See if he's able to turn this around or if Murder closes it out. Oh, darn it. Alright, so we've got Murder down in a lower spawn, Invoker up a bit higher. Got a 5 and 6 aura start apiece. Each has a shield. Blue aura out of Murder indicates a Kai deck. And then we have a red aura out of Invoker indicating primarily Psycho. There comes the rock shot. Reincarnation doesn't connect, so that'll mean Key Faith for Murder. Rock shot still being thrown out as a harassing tool. Acquisition going to make that a little bit more accurate. Bravery decision also out of Invoker of Legend. This will be what he ran on Palace, though he never seemed to get his bravery decision last time. Dodges the reincarnation. Probably just going to overwrite until he hits the 7th capsule there. Dazzle, and now likely a railgun. He's going to want to break that iron skin with something else other than his Excalibur. Murder runs back to base, possibly picking up a dash. Now has a flash hole now. Need to break through the flash hole. Does connect the cluster bomb. Got ourselves a tie game health-wise. Flash hole catches the railgun. Now it's time to keep putting on the pressure with the cluster bomb, and we see it go there. If he can break that iron skin with the cluster bomb, he's in a good spot. The acquisition is going to make it hard to dodge for Murder whenever he approaches Invoker's base. And at long range, he's currently outclassed unless he can get himself some lasers, which I don't believe we're going to see out of that arsenal as it is Key Faith. Reincarnation does connect. Tiger Strength now out of Murder. Cluster bomb still being thrown out. Bit too far of range at this point. Murder able to dodge those fairly easily, though he breaks the sign that time, throwing some trash down towards Murder. Oh. have to see if Invoker can pick up a win here. Looking pretty strong so far. Seems to be manually checking to see if that's a flash hole. Still an iron skin, so he's probably just going to throw that out. No, appears to be manualing that. Does take the 5 damage from the reincarnation of the Willow there after the combo. 2 Willows thrown. Takes another one and gets knocked off the map, and that is in short order a win for Murder Mastodon. Going from looking good in a good position to dying shortly thereafter. Murder knows how to turn it on and turn it on hard. Well played, gentlemen, and thanks everybody for tuning in to another Group A matchup.